Hello.
Hi.
Wie geht's?
Good.
Ja.
Right here?
Sehr gut.
Yes.
Are you ready for the
Yes,
interview?
yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm ready.
So let's go.
Okay.
Hey, my name is Mayada from Club Al Hakawati. We started the project to learn about the movement in Berlin, the refugee movement, and now we are here. This is Muhammed.
Ja.
فيك تحكي بالعربي وأنا بترجمها كمان بالألماني ما في مشكلة.
أنا محمد من العراق وجينا اليوم مقابلة معك. طبعا تشرفنا بالتصوير معنا. إن شاء الله تكون يوم جميل سلام.
Salam. My name is Muhammed Lamin Jadama. I came from Senegambia. Senegambia is two countries, Gambia and Senegal. But because of people are the same culture, the same way of life, the same language, so I present it in that way, Senegambia. I live in Berlin since 2011, and I was part of the protest here in Oranienplatz and in the school. And since then, I've been living here in Berlin. I'm a photographer, and I use materials like photography, films, to give workshops in the schools to talk about the daily life of the refugees living here in Berlin and also many parts in Germany.
هو من سنغامبيا، عم بسمي سنغامبيا يعني من سنغال وغامبيا مثل بلد وحدة لأنه الناس نفس الشيء يعني نفس اللغة وكذا. هو من 2011 هون، وكمان كان مقطع من حركة اللاجئين هون في برلين، ومن هذا الوقت عم يسكن هون في برلين. هو تصوير، أنا عم بصور وبيسوي كتير ورشة العمل وهيك شغل مع الصور عشان يورجي الناس اللاجئين هون كيف عايشين هون في برلين. As you said, you were part of the refugee movement here. When did you first take part in the refugee movement, and what exactly was your role?
I think that was in 2012. It's just like accidentally I was passing by Oranienplatz, and I saw a group of people with the tents, living in the tents and outside. So I was curious, but I catch the picture directly that it could be refugees, the situation of the refugees. So this is how I got involved. I went there and then asked people. Hence, I am in the same situation like them. I know they are fighting for something. Likewise me. So this is how I involved. It was easy for me to get in. I used my camera to document because basically what I was doing was to make films and photography. Because what I am seeing, the pictures that I always saw in the television, newspapers, disturbing pictures. It has something totally different from the reality, what is happening there. So the purpose of my involvement and the role I was playing was to photograph, to make a documentation of these situations, and also to show it to the people, to speak and show the reality of how these people are living, and what you see in television or what you heard about television is a different story.
بيقول انه هو بلش بالحركة اللاجئين 2012 لما شاف بالاوكلاتس هذا المكان تبع الشجرة، شاف جروب ناس، وهو اول احساس كان انه هدول لاجئين واكيد عم بيحربوا يعني نفس اللي عندهم نفس الوضع اللي عنده، وشرف معهم يعني صار جروب منهم. ولأنه هو عم بيصور تصوير، شغلته الأساسية كانت إنه يصور ويورجي الناس الباقي شو عم بيصير الحقيقة، لأنه بالتلفزيون وبالجريدة وكل هالشي ما عم بيشوفوا الصور اللاجئين هون، بس ما عم بيشوفوا الحقيقة، وهاي الأهم شغل اللي كان تبعهم. Do you have a connection to this this occupation, this movement here?
Yes, in a sense that I knew many people living there. I personally was not living in the school, but almost every week or every week 2 or 3 times I am there. You know, because I know a lot of people there who are living inside there protesting. So that was one of my connections with the people, and also I communicate with a lot of people, talk to them, to ask them what are the situations and what they want and what are their difficulties, what they are looking forward. So that's also another connection that I have with the people there. But I personally I am not living there.
سألته إذا عنده شيء يعني هو نحن واقفين قدام المدرسة يعني شو كان هون صاير بالمدرسة. قال لي هو خاصة ما كان ساكن هون، بس هو يعرف كتير ناس اللي كانوا ساكنين هون، ودائما يعني اجا مرة بالاسبوع لهون ويعني عرف كيف شو عم يساووا وكذا هيك شغلات، وعرف الوضع اللي كان هون.
Okay.
So you went inside during the occupation or you were just outside?
Yeah, during the eviction, I was not here. I was in Italy.
Okay.
So after 3 days after the occupation, after the eviction, when the police came to take people out, 3 days after, that was the time I came. But when I came, it was from this Johnson here was blocked, and then the other Johnson there was also blocked. So they are not giving any chance to the people to come in and out.
Yeah.
But we were here every day, almost from morning to the afternoon, protesting, playing drums, and some are taking pictures and things like that.
Yeah.
And whilst the others are in the roof.
Yeah. لما قفلوا المدرسة هو كان بإيطاليا. هو إجا بعد 3 أيام بعد ما إجوا البوليس ويطلعوا الناس وهيك، ولما هو إجا سكروا الشارع من هون ومن هناك، وما حدا قدر يفوت لهون ولا من هون، ما حدا يفات ولا طلع. وبس ضلوا طول النهار يعني من الصبح لليلة يعني من بعيد سووا مظاهرات مع موسيقى وكذا مع.
إذا شو كان دوره هو من ضمن الجروب يعني؟
So what was your role especially here in this time?
Yeah, that time I tried to catch up the moment situation, like people who are protesting out, to make a film and then also to photograph them. Because for me that was very, very important for me to document it in order to show it out what was happening here. So that was basically my role, what I was at that time.
Yeah. خصوصا شغلته كان انه يصور كل شيء اللي بيصير هون عشان الناس برا يشوفوا كل شيء، وضل يجي عشان يصور ويسوي افلام وصور عشان بضل ذكرى للناس.
بما انه هو كان بايطاليا، هل الصور والافلام هل عرضهم بايطاليا هم اكو يعني عالم شاهدوا هالمقاطع او الصور يعني؟
When you were in Italy, did you show people photos or pictures of what happens here in Berlin, or?
No. When I went to Italy, I didn't go there. Went there with those materials because I went there for a different purpose.
Okay.
But sometimes I speak about it to the people there. How was the situation in Iranian class and in the school here? But by then I was not there with any of the material that I can show with them.
لا ما أخذ ولا صورة معه، وهو بس راح مشان سبب غير، بس كان في أوقات إنه حكوا في الموضوع شو صاير هون بالأوبلاس وبالمدرسة كمان.
مستقبل هم يعمل فيلم مشان هيك يعني شلونها مال المظاهرات أو شيء، هذه مستقبلا يعمل هيك مخطط شيء؟
Did you make a film about this movement, or do you want to make a film? Or?
I'm looking forward to bring up some other material into a film because I think it's very, very important.
هو عامل فيلم عن قصة الأوبلات والعاشولة، بس لسه عم بيجمع كمان شغلات، عم بيجمع كمان صور عشان يساوي كمان فيلم بالمستقبل.
زين ذول الاشخاص كانوا من ضمن الجروب، هل معهم تواصل لساته يعني، او مثلا من ضمن ساعدوا بهذا الشيء؟
Did the people of the movement help you with the film, or how was the topic? How was to make the film?
No, the film, I think it's about basically my personal experience since I left, and something that has connected to the refugee movement. So I don't know what help, but help is asking about, but it's only my contribution and also in general perspective of how things are happening between the movement, something like that. So I think, yeah, it was easier for me because people, I explained it to them. I think that was helpful from the people. When I talk to them and then tell them my intention, it was helpful in that kind of working together. But it's something basically most focused on my own experience and also the new things that I came to my life since I left my country.
Okay. يعني الفيلم، قصة الفيلم هو خصوصا على شخصيته، كيف وصل لهون وكيف كان طريقه وكيف كان الوضع هون في ألمانيا لإله، بس بنفس الوقت ورجع الوضع هون بألمانيا، الوضع اللاجئين هون، بحركة اللاجئين وهيك. وبهمه كان انه شو كان الاسباب، ليش اجى لهون، ليش عم بيحرب معاهم هيك. What is the baddest memory for you in this time, and what is the best memory for you in this time? And it's not always a bad thing. Yeah.
The good thing, I could say it, they are interconnected, good and bad, because that's how life is. It was very sad during that time. If you see how police are treating the people in a force, which is very violent against the people. And then the good thing about it was, people see their right. They stand for their rights, and then what they think that what's supposed to be, as far as right of human beings is concerned. But at the end, it turned to a violence against them. So that was a very sad moment. That and also a good thing, society here were very helpful at that time because we found a lot of support from the neighbors here and so many white German activists, who come out. To give their hand to support the people in that situation.
أقول الشغلة الحلو إنه الناس صاروا يعرفوا حقوقهم، والناس تعرفوا على بعض، وصار هيك يعني مثل مجتمع، والناس هون بالجوار كله صاروا عم بيساعدوا بعض ويعرفوا بعض. والشغلة الممنحة إنه كيف استعمل البوليس معاهم، يعني مع الضرب ومع يعني ما كانوا منيح، وكان كتير حزين بهذا الوقت. So how did you feel? How was the refugee conditions in this time we had the movement, and how are the conditions now for refugees or newcomers? Do you feel change in a better way or not better way?
I think generally, from my personal perspective or personal experience, I would say yes, there are some improvements, but which is very, very little, and I could say also the situation is still the same, because, for example, in all our school here, the people who stood up to fight for their life were taken away, and then they bringing up another people, and who are the same. They are the same refugees. They throw some out and then bring others there. So for me, that is a kind of a discrimination, which are happening. It put more complicated situation to other people, because for me, I see that all the refugees who are coming here, they came either by different motive, like he's a war refugee, political, economic refugee. These are all the same to me, or natural catastrophe. But now they are making a distinction, which is very bad to other refugees, who they throw out and then bring out others, saying that these are good refugees. So for me, that's something which I could say they are repeating the same thing since 100 years or years back. Divide the refugees and then divide and rule. The strategy of colonialism still is the same, nothing changed.
Yeah. In your opinion, what can we do? What can the newcomers do, or the old newcomers, to let the movement go on?
Yeah, I think first of all, this it should come from the both sides. The old ones who are here, let us share their experience to the newcomers, because if you stay here 2-3 months, you know how system here works better than somebody who came today. So you can share this experience to these newcomers so that they can also learn something from you. And also newcomers, as I said, they should learn something. Let them not jump in the system, but let them learn, because if you have idea on anything, it will make you easier to get out of that situation. Because here, the structure behind the refugees is not something realistic. It's false, for my own opinion. Everything is false. So that false laws, discriminative laws, if they are there, also prepare yourself to answer them in a false way. So I think for me this is very important. So that's why here they say the refugees, they didn't speak the truth, they are like this and that and that. The law here, they are forgetting about it. The law which governs the refugees is also false. So why should I be realistic to that? So for that, it's a kind of, learn from each other, to make it easier. Let us not relax and say, okay, nothing change. So let us relax. So when we do that anytime, which means that we are giving power to the politics, we are giving power to the system to grow more and more, to oppress us more and more. But no matter how it is, let us fight. If there is changes or not changes, or the changes are little or big, let's still fight. Maybe in generation comes, things will,
سألته إذا في تغيير شيء بالنسبة له، قال إنه في تغيير بس قليل شوي، يعني ما صار كتير، ما تحسنت الوضع كتير. وسألته شو فينا نسوي عشان يعني اللاجئين الناس الجداد والناس اللي كانوا جداد، شو فينا نسوي عشان نكمل الحركة. قال أول شيء إنه القديم، يعني اللي إجوا اللي كانوا جداد وهلا قديم، لازم يخلوا الجداد اللي هلا إجوا يعلموا كيف الوضع هون، يعرفوا يوصلوا هيك، ولازم نكمل بهيك طريق. يمكن هلا ما نستفيد منها شيء، بس بالمستقبل يستفيدوا منها شيء.
It's difficult in that way because after eviction of the school here on Oranian Platz, it's make people, very difficult to restruct themselves to come up, with a one big movement. Though there are sub groups, which are established, they are still fighting and they are still active, but collectively to bring them all under one umbrella is difficult. And I could say, for my experience, it's not anymore there. But still individually or some different groups, they are still there and they are fighting. And I found them, they are very strong, very important. But to put them all under one umbrella, I think is not exist as far as I understand. It's not exist anymore because many people lose hope. You see, as I said, people discourage and they say, okay, now I have to focus on myself or how to take care of myself rather than in this collective way of fighting. So,
was your biggest motivation for the movement in Oloa school and Oloa Platz, or the whole movement?
Yeah, people, no matter how you found yourself, and or people categorize you, but you know yourself more than anyone. I know myself more than you. You know yourself more than me. So you think what is right for you, you fight for it. I think I was very motivated about it, and it gave me a power. So, and I think it's one of its kind here. People protest out in Berlin, to put everything invisible. So that I was very happy about it. Yeah, and also the supporters, I saw a lot of energy from the supporters around here, supporting people.
Do you still see the energy of the supporters? Are the supporters still there, or were they just for this movement and then they were away?
Yeah, both is there. From my understanding, I see both. There are some supporters, they still support people individually or collectively. So it depends on which people you trust or which one you want to put more your energy into, because as I say, there are a lot of groups here, but all of them have different strategies to work. So based on that different strategies that you are working or you are functioning, there are some working with only the women. There are also some groups which are working with only gays and lesbians. There are some who are working with the Africans, some are with Palestinians, so different ones. So from the supporters' point of view, I think, it depends which one you feel comfortable to involve and put your energy in. So that's how I see it. But I see still people are still supporting, and which I was very comfortable about it. Cool. Though there are some negative way of supporting still there, but still there are very good people who are handling the situation in a very nice way.
And how did you arrive so much attention for this movement?
For me, I don't know, you do what you believe, I think. So it depends. Now it's left to the people that who supporting you, who feel like what you are demonstrating or you are protesting is useful, and they can come in. Sometimes you can be in a very good moment, or you can be protesting on something about yourself, but still people are ignoring you. So you don't pick up their attention on you. But whilst what you are fighting is something realistic and is very important, and sometimes you can be protesting on something also which has no use, but still people support you. So it depends from the people that you are sending the message, how important it is, and
We just knew that there were about 7,000 people on the street here in Olaer Straße. How did you fare in this mess?
It was a pity in a sense that why such an amount of people, like 7,000 people or more, fight for something wrong which was caused by the few people. Because I say few people, with me, if you go into the politics, the people who decide in these wrong laws and decisions, there are very few. So fight how these few people can did something wrong against 7,000 people. It's very few people who are deciding. If you go to the offices here, people who will sign for this Abschiebung or right of asile, they are few. While the society, hundreds of people are outside suffering. So that was something very pity if I see it like that. Why should people stay here for 1 week or more than 1 week, 7,000 people on the street just because of something little? If you look at it here, the people who are living here at that time, it's simple to solve their problems. People who are occupying here, it's normal. Nobody was using this place. Why can't they give chance to the people to stay there just for sleeping? They are not disturbing anybody, and that has nothing to do with their politics. But kick them out is very sad. So that's why you see people floating outside, which people leave their jobs and use their energies for only that small thing, I could say.
Did you miss something we didn't ask?
Other thing I would like to say, it's about what they call now refugee crisis, so-called refugee crisis. It's not a crisis. For me, it's like it's a development to the Europeans. In a sense, it creates a job for the Europeans. It creates opportunity for the Europeans. But in that sense, they are not talking about it. They are just pushing, and the refugees became a kind of objects that, people rich and rich, people solve their economical problems on this so-called refugee crisis. It creates jobs for the even Germans, Europeans, and then but the refugees themselves are not benefiting anything out of these things. So which I found it very pity. When the refugees came here, you can be here for more than how many years without giving you a working permit. But the people who are so-called, we are working with the refugees or we are doing this for the refugees, they have been paid on your behalf. They create a job on your behalf while you are the person who remains suffering without having even access to a doctor or even access to travel from one city to another, because this is what they want. So I think that part, is something that, we have to reflect on it. It's not a refugee crisis. It's a development, so-called development to the European citizens who, it creates job for them. It creates a good life for them. It creates everything for them. To speak even in the platform, refugees here, nobody listening to you. But for them, they can do all those stuffs on your behalf. But still they are calling a refugee crisis, which is for me it doesn't give sense, and it's a pity when I heard about telling we don't want refugees here, or it's a refugee crisis,
Yeah.
So
All right. Thank you very, very much for this interview. We are here for learning something, and you gave us the chance to learn something about the movement. And thank you.
شكرا جزيلا على قدومك، وكان لقاء طبعا خفيف.